Now, I'll go over this again. And it was on the Dragon's Den, and kind of looked like the Dragon's Den are a bunch of wealthy people that, don't they appear to be a little angry? They're not very nice people. They're really, really greedy mindset. So if somebody that is this friggin' greedy and puts me on a show that doesn't even listen to anything that I had to say, I mean, literally, there was good editing, but I was there, and only I know the truth of what was going on there. And trust me, these people did not want me to explain nothing. They interrupted me from the very beginning, and as soon as I would answer a few sentences, they would interrupt me again. They never let me have a complete sentence, basically. They didn't want to know what it was that I was doing. They didn't want too much information out there. Plus, at the same time, they knew full well, before I even went on that show, that I was not asking for a business proposal, but for them to donate their money to a nonprofit where they wouldn't make a dime, and it would be like $2 million. Do you think a bunch of greedy people would donate their money and not make a profit off of that? No. They knew this ahead of time before I even went on there. They knew that there was zero profit involved with it. And I kind of knew that. I was just looking for the advertisement, which they did use for 3 years to advertise their show. So I got a lot of negative advertisement, but there's a lot of energy out there that's, a lot of people are definitely aware of this. They may think it's negative, but it is actually extremely positive. It's just a matter of transforming that negative marketing into something that's positive marketing. But you look at the stock market, it is controlled by your emotional state. It is water. Why water? Because every friggin' human on the planet needs water daily. Why is water? I mean, it's not magic water. There's zero magic in this water. Yes, you will find Dr. Emoto that says that the molecular structure of water changes depending on the label that's on the labels. But if I just drink bottled water that has a label on it, as soon as I drink that water, what label, what words, what beliefs I have in my head will instantly change the water that goes into my body. So it's pointless. There's nothing magic about water. Let's get that straight. But it is something that you can use in your own house. I use square bottles because I put 4 different things on the side. The only reason water works is because you need to actually flush drinking a healthy amount of water every day flushes your system out of any toxins. Water is actually really good for you. How do I know that? Because I had a lot of health issues and went to a lot of doctors, and I found out I wasn't drinking enough water. And I'm talking about some serious medical problems that water was the solution to it. But because I didn't like the taste of water, I don't like it in glasses. For some reason, I get an odd taste to it. I always was I would drink out of bottles. I could use tap water, but it has to be one of these type of bottles for it to taste good for me. I'm not into this type of plastic. This is polluting. The answer is to use the current plastics, but manufacture it in a way that's healthy for your body. But you all drink water every single friggin' day, and you're all brainwashed by the labels of the stuff that we buy. You're all programmed to feel like you're lacking something, and as long as you're lacking, you'll go and chase after. You'll go buy anything, with the promise of this will make you happy. You're trained to believe you don't have happiness inside you, so you need to buy stuff to make you happy. And that's called well, it's marketing, it's branding, it's programming, it's psychology. It motivates you to do what somebody else wants you to do. It gets into your psyche that you'll react to it without even knowing it. So that's what the labels do on this, is it makes you remember. It puts the suggestion, oh, this is what I'm supposed to work on. Oh, get my river of thought back on the track that I want it to be. I mean, can you get pissed off about something and get pissed off for weeks? You know, or can you jump out of, get pissed off and jump out of that emotion, be happy instantly? Can you control your emotional state? You need something that interrupts your emotional state and gets you on the track that you want to. So one of them is prosperity and abundance. They do not want you to feel prosperous and abundant. They want to make you feel like you lack it, so that if you lack it, you'll constantly chase after it. But the chase is over as soon as you think that you have it. So the goal is to drink out of this every day, but remember every time you drink of it, what did it feel like? Not just to use it as, subliminal messages, thinking that it's going to do something to your mind. You have to actually create the subliminal messages yourself. And how you do that, how you get addicted, because addictions are good. You all have addictions, but you're not addicted to the right emotional state of being. And it is a chemical in your brain. In order for you to feel abundant and prosperity, you have to actually create the right peptides and proteins in your brain so you can feel it. So, you actually have to step back and say, what does it feel like? When was the last time I felt prosperous? When did I feel lucky? When did I feel that I could just attract everything that I possibly could need? And what did that feel like? You attract everything you experience based on your feelings, not just mantras of, okay, I'm feeling prosperous, I'm feeling prosperous. That won't work. That is a double negative. The fact that you have to convince yourself to think of something means there's some kind of power there that's making you not think of it. So right now, while you're losing all your shit, can you feel rich? Can you feel like you're abundant? Can you feel like you can attract anything in your world? I can. I'm on a social service it is very much a choice. I've chosen not to fight the system. There are disabilities that I am challenged with. I mean, you can send me to a doctor, they'll call me crazy. And you can send me to a physical doctor, and the stress of even dealing with it will increase the physical health problems. That'll show up, that'll say, yeah, you're disabled and you can never work again. Okay, but I can work. I work every day on putting this YouTube channel. I would love to work at what it is that I'm talented at and get paid for that job, but the government doesn't want to. So the choices that I make in being on this social service is, no, I'm not going to do anything that's going to harm me or harm my society. And, I'll get a lot of emails that say, oh, you should just go out and work and you should do this and you're taking advantage of a system. And it's like, no, I choose not to do harm to my world. I choose to not do harm to myself. When society wants to start changing, start doing the things that are right, I'm here. I want to work. I'd rather be productive. Find me that job where I can't even work. A lot of people aren't even woken up to the idea that if you go out and apply for a job, there's 1,000 people in competition with that job. So it's not like I could go out and work tomorrow at a job that I, know it will do harm to me. Right away, my psyche will set me up to not get that interview. You have to see your own mind. You have to see your own thoughts. You have to see how you psychologically create your experiences. But at the end of the day, everything that I need, I can attract. I needed computers to be able to do YouTube. I have a daughter that was taking up too much of my time at the computer, so I got 2 free computers. This week, short of funds, went to check my bank account. There's an extra $100 in there that I wasn't counting on. It could have been somebody donated to my channel. I have to go and check the paperwork out, but there was an extra $100 in there, which to all those people that say I'm taking advantage of a welfare system, no, I report every single dime that comes in through donations. I am working very hard at getting off this welfare system. I think it's pointless, useless. It is the end result of all crimes that we don't want to stop. And the criminals are our politicians, are these elite companies, these CEOs are criminally insane, as they label me to be insane. But that's the trick, is while you lose all your stuff, can you feel like you're rich? Can you make your mind feel what it feels like to be rich? And can you do that every day? You do that for 21 days straight, then you start getting addicted to it. And at the same time, on each of these bottles, I put no complaints and no excuses. And it's not to never make a complaint, never make an excuse. It's a matter of you need to make as many complaints and as many excuses as possible right now. Start writing them all down. What do you complain about and what do you make excuses for? Because that's your unknown problem. And that's what I'll get into later. I think I'm going to start going over all of these books on holodynamics that claims to be a tool that can solve every problem known to man. The only problem is it can't identify the unknown problem. The unknown problem is what you complain about and make excuses of and think you don't have the power to fix it. You do have the power. If you have a problem, that means you have the solution. You can't recognize the problem unless you know what's right. If you know what's right, then you know the solution. But you've been brainwashed not to believe in yourself. So these are the emotions that I put on my bottles, and I use them every single friggin' day. So if something gets on my path that pisses me off, I have these bottles that say, no, get yourself more on track, be more peaceful, be more loving. It helps me recognize when I have a complaint so that I can see my life, I'm supposed to design it to have no complaints. It's not that I'm going to ignore that complaint. I need to take this tool and transform that problem that I'm recognizing into its solution. So it works 2 ways. It helps reprogram your brain from what all of these elites have done. They make you think you are in lack of, and you have to literally work at making your brain think that you have more of it. Get control over your thoughts. And once you get control over your thoughts, you get control over your emotions, then you start listening to your intuition, and it will guide you down the right path. So, I don't know whether this video is going to upload or not, but that's one of them. Is how do you feel abundance and prosperity when you've lost everything? It's the wildest thing to feel really, really rich when you have nothing. But when you do feel like you're prosperous and abundant, you can attract a house. You can attract anything that you possibly want. It just comes. And the world will be against you. The world will say you're nuts. But if you can not doubt yourself while the world doubts you, that's when you create. The next one is gratitude and humanity. Can you feel grateful? Like when shit's coming down, do you ever feel grateful, or are you really, really pissed off? How can you notice when something good comes in your life if you're never grateful for it? Like if you take advantage of everything, if you don't even know where to be thankful for, then when something good comes up, will you even notice it? This is key, to feel grateful for stuff. So while you're losing your stuff, what have you got to be grateful for? There is something that you can be grateful for. The fact that you have a computer that you can even watch this channel if you enjoy it. I'm getting a little too long. I'll go and continue in the next tape.